Brig is probably one of the most generous men I've ever known. He's a man of God. He loves his country, and he loves seeing people's lives changed.
You know, with Brig, he's a very passionate person. Didn't grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth. So there again, you've got firsthand knowledge what it takes to build something and to sustain it.
He started a lot of businesses. I've been with him all through, 26 years of ups and downs. And he's the type of person that his faith is number one. And if he was to lose everything today, he'd have it all back in a short order.
One of the quotes that he has that I love is, if you do what you love, you won't work a day in your life.
You know, he makes people feel special, and I think that's why people love being around him.
I've always been a dreamer, always been a doer, was never a school kind of a person, I wasn't an intellect. So I always had kind of an outgoing personality. I think that was the makeup for me being small, growing up in stature and all that stuff. So I had to kind of, if I wanted attention, I had 4 siblings and they were all kind of, smarter, better looking, whatever they were. And I had to kind of compete.
Success is just a process of failures. And so it's just made him tough in that regard. And, he always sees the positive and just has a bright outlook on life.
I love life. I think, man, every day is a great day above ground. Try missing one. I tell people, if you don't think so, try missing one of them.
He's 60 years old now, and he has the energy of like a 20-year-old. He has that drive like no other.
Brig lives a pretty blessed life. He's worked really hard for everything he has.
I gained success only because I realized that I could get one person that agreed with me on why I was doing what I was doing, and I realized I could teach them to do the same by that example, by really living it. They say you'll know a tree by the fruit that it bears.
We kind of live by a scripture that says that if you want to harvest, you must plant a seed. And he is probably one of the biggest seed planters I've ever met.
The world's hungry for friendship, for relationship. So relational marketing, it's kind of interesting that friends beget friends, and I see everyone in business with me as a friend.
He can speak to people like nobody I've ever seen before.
He's inspiring at a lot of different levels. At the family level, you see how much he loves his kids. I've had the opportunity to spend a lot of time with his family, and he has great kids.
All 3 of my kids are unique. Brittany's a stylist, and she's good at it. She loves it. It's her passion. Daniel's got that entrepreneur spirit now with his sunglasses, Wisdom sun blockers. Very proud of him for coming up, conceiving the idea, seeing his little niche market, going after it. Now he's just faithful about doing it. Paul, the skater, I think he got more of me because I was always trying to figure out how can I make a living doing what I love doing. All of my kids are following their passion, which is unique. They're not doing what everyone else thinks they should do. They're doing what they want to do.
It's neat seeing how committed he is to his family. I've seen him, his spirituality is probably the biggest part of Brig.
The greatest responsibility outside of my commitment to the Lord, my commitment to my wife, is my commitment to my children, because that's the hope of America.
What makes Brig so special is that he is a real guy. He's not putting on a show for anyone. What you see is what you get. That's Brig.
I fell in love with the engine early on, like most guys. I guess I was a gearhead. But I fell in love with boats. Next thing you know, motorcycles. Really what happened is anything with an engine. I'm kind of a fast and loud kind of a guy. I like things that rumble. I love to smell burnt rubber. But you know what it is? I like to watch people react.
Every single day for him is an adventure. And he's earned the right to have that adventure every day.
For all you know, you could be going on a trip somewhere tomorrow, you could be riding jet ski with him, you could be doing anything. Every day is a different day though, If I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. He likes that rush of any extreme sport.
So he is always focused on doing what he loves to do. And some days it's business, You know, some days it's paddleboarding, some days it's surfing, some days it's golf, which I've never seen, but I'd like to see one day. I think that's what it is. You know, I mean, he's going to wake up every morning and do what he loves to do, and that's where the balance is.
He's always in the future. He's always thinking way ahead of everybody else.
I think Briggisms are like anything else. You kind of boil down life and you have your own way of expressing what's important to you, what means something to you. I'd rather be the captain of a rowboat than the second mate of a battleship. Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. I'd rather be right than rich. No, I'd rather be rich than right.